Hey, what is up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. I told you that I would come back and give you a follow-up video on the John Cena injury, and I have done it. Wrestling Observer Radio is going to be doing a show later tonight, so I guess they're not going to be going with the breaking news audio that they would normally do if it wasn't a show night. If you're not a Wrestling Observer subscriber, I honestly think as a wrestling fan, it's probably the best money that you're going to spend. You might like going to the dirt sheets, and the dirt sheets are free. And even though a lot of the stuff on the dirt sheets is copy and paste, they never seem to copy and paste the whole story. And being able to listen to the podcast, being able to read the actual Wrestling Observer, and get all of the news that Dave pumps into there, as well as the Figure 4 Weekly. It's worth it to me as a wrestling fan. I don't want to say that I'm a smarter wrestling fan than you are, but it will make you a smarter wrestling fan, and it gives you a lot of the backstory on a lot of the stories that you might be reading just the headline of and just moving on about your day. But I guess this story was broken open by the PW Insiders, Mike Johnson, who put this up as a post on their website, which then was answered by John Cena posting up on his own Twitter, and then of course the coach going with the news on SportsCenter on ESPN, which is still... That was, real breaking news about professional wrestling being talked about on SportsCenter. I understand that they have the time slot on Tuesdays that they always talk about professional wrestling, and, it is what it is. But, when they do basically breaking news and it's about WWE, that's a big deal. And I know that they've, got some negative press because they don't talk about, all of the news of wrestling. ESPN hasn't gone with the big story of all the guys from New Japan Pro Wrestling, basically, coming to WWE. They haven't broken that news story open, but I'm sure that when they do, that's going to be one hell of a press release, for guys like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. AJ Styles has probably never gotten any press like this, and Shinsuke Nakamura, even though he's a big star in Japan, this is a big deal here in the United States. And I know that there's talk of AJ debuting at the Royal Rumble, and we don't really know when these other guys are going to come. Shinsuke Nakamura more than likely will do some time at the Performance Center, where he will learn sort of the American ways of professional wrestling. We don't want no strong style over here, but it's a really fun time in professional wrestling. No John Cena. He said that this is a shoulder surgery problem, which is basically something that's going to put him out 6 to 9 months. This being John Cena means that he'll probably be out for 5 months, and then he'll be able to return. People are really freaking out about Wrestlemania, even though we really don't know anything that's going to be going down at Wrestlemania other than the rumored match of Triple H going up against Roman Reigns. Everything else seems to be up in the air. Some people think The Rock is wrestling. Some people think The Rock is showing up just to be a part of the shenanigans, which is WrestleMania, which basically will leave guys like Sheamus, Dean Ambrose, The New Day, Kevin Owens. Those guys are going to be the highlight of the show, basically with Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, as well as Cesaro, basically all being, sent home due to injury. And, I don't know. I mean, you're looking for star power. You're losing your number one guy in John Cena. It's awful funny. And I thought of this earlier, basically that everyone says, John Cena sucks, and John Cena is the worst thing about wrestling, and this is what I hate about it, is I hate John Cena. But, we've had John Cena injuries before, we've had John Cena injury scares, and basically everyone sort of admits that when Cena's down, the WWE's in a tight position, and they're in a real tight position right now with the guy that they built the main event around, Seth Rollins being out, Randy Orton, a guy that can always pick up the bags, and I was meant to say pick up the ball and run with it, but not having Cena. Of course, they just brought Alberto Del Rio in at Hell in a Cell. They really haven't put him in the limelight that I thought they would, after they spent the money to get Del Rio to come over from AAA and come be a part of WWE once again. If it is true that he's being paid over $1 million a year, they should treat this guy like he's being paid $1 million a year, not as a United States champion, which isn't really defending his belt, that as a part of a geek squad of the League of Nations with Rusev, Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, and Wade Barrett. Del Rio should be the head of his own stable. And I'm not talking like they have the geeks on Monday Night Raw, Bo Dallas, Adam Rose, Heath Slater, and there was another one. I can't remember who the last one was, but I don't know. We'll have to see what's going down. Obviously, there's going to be more news to come on this whole deal, and as soon as Observer Radio is up with Brian and Dave, there'll definitely be more word of mouth from Dave Meltzer about what is going to happen with John Cena.